Hey guys, welcome back to Sarah's Jewelry Studio. So this is my new and improved studio, and this is my first official video back. So I'm going to give you a tour of my new workspace. I haven't done a whole lot of actual jewelry work in it yet, but that's what I'm doing now, is diving back into it. So I kept waiting and saying, I'm going to get everything perfect and then I'll do a video and then, it'll be great. And yeah, it just has never been perfect. So I've been living here for 7 months. The painting's done, the decorating's done, the organization pieces are here, just not everything is organized into them. So, you know what, I have some clutter going on, but it's okay because my workspace is clear now. My jewelry stuff has all been sitting in this cabinet right behind me here that is ready to go. So that's been just sitting there waiting for me to have a proper workspace. And I would get it cleared off, and then something would happen and it would get cluttered again, and then it was just a cycle. So I decided, I was like, you know what, no more excuses, I'm just going to clear it off because I really want to get back to work. Because I just did a vendor event the previous weekend, and actually it was a lot of fun, and it really has made me have that drive to want to get back into doing this again. So I'm going to give you guys a quick little tour of the room. Like I said, there is some clutter, but you know what? It is what it is. This is a real working household with children, lots of children. So everything is not totally neat and organized as I would love it to be. But you know what? That's life. So I'm going to give you guys a quick little tour of the room and then show you guys all my jewelry stuff, and then I'm going to show you a display idea that I used at the 2 vendor events that I've done now that I feel like have worked out really well. And I'm going to make another board, and I wanted to see if you guys wanted me to make a video of doing that board. So if you do, let me know in the comments. All right, stay tuned. I'm going to turn this camera around. Alright, so we'll start over here first because this is where I actually do my work that I get paid for a living. So I've covered up some stuff just because there's, things that I'm not supposed to, show for everyone to see, security type stuff like that for work. So this is my workstation. I got my laptop there. It's actually hooked up to the TV. That's my little slideshow going on there. So all those pictures on there I've personally taken. So this is where I normally sit. Oops, sorry. And I have my rolly chair here that I can go from my workstation where I work over here to my jewelry station where I'm going to jewelry. And then over here we just have, like I said, that clutter I was talking about. So as you can see, I have lots of things for organizing, just nothing is actually organized. And then this is the kids play area of the room. So this is my bead mat on here. That I normally have on my workstation, but the kids were playing, I'm sorry, not playing, they were making some jewelry earlier today, so I had that set up over there for them to do that. And then this is just all their storage stuff, coloring and crafts and all that good stuff, puzzles. So you can see I have these little bins I got from IKEA all labeled, and then just some more craft stuff. And then I have my light box up there, and then this is my jewelry cabinet. And then we're back at the other corner of the room. So this is the door into the room, and then my little way too much clutter of stuff. This is my little spider bead, bead spider, there you go, bead spider that my brother made for me. So, and then just some more random clutter, more of these bins from IKEA, which I really like, and once I get more of them, and it'll just look a lot less cluttered. So, and then these are the board projects that I'm going to show you about. Alright, so back to my workstation here. So, I have this for all my tools. This is just a piece of foam board. So this is an actual tool holder, and it does go up and down, but you can see it's only this long. So, and I have more tools than that, so I just use that as a base, and then I just use some foam board which I just covered with packing tape, and so now it goes across the whole length of this bin, which I also got this bin from IKEA. And then the reason I kept this in here instead of just using the foam board itself is because it does have these little holes down in there, so you can keep your things like that have points on them organized down into there. So then I also just keep glue, scissors. These, they don't fit on there just because they have their little caps on there. So I just keep those off to the side. So there you go. So that is the tool bin. Then just have some more little boxes here with tools that I normally use, things that I just want to keep right in hand's reach. Little drawer here. So just a whole bunch of randomness. So we got crimps and jump rings. So all the kind of things that I want to keep at my fingertips I have right here. I have this wire rack that I got from Joann's that I have all of my, well, this isn't all of my materials, but you know, I have a good selection of on there. And then camera holder, light. And then this rack was a Facebook find, which was really awesome. So I'm assuming it's supposed to be a tie rack or something, but yeah. So I used to always cut up all the beads and put them in boxes. I'm not sure if you're familiar, but this is the Hildy and Joe brand that comes from Joann's. So as you can tell, I shop there a lot. Some of these are also from AC Moore when they went out of business. So yeah, I just hung all these on here. Some of them I had already unhung from the packaging. And so I just restrung them and actually hung them right back up. So like these were on weird big cards. So these came from like dollar beads. So I just strung them together and just put them back up there. So just a way to keep everything nice and organized. As you can tell, I kind of color coordinated. So these are all like oranges, yellows, some browns, greens, green blues. So just kind of color coordinated a little bit so that way if I'm looking for a certain color, I can find it easily that way. So there's that. Okay. And then this is the other thing I have here. So if I don't feel like moving my whole big bead mat out over here, which is actually just a Velux blanket, which is basically the same exact material as just a beading mat. So I do have these small beading mats here if I'm just doing a small project. And then also the bead board. So they have the bracelet one, a couple of necklace ones. So there's those. And the other thing I have to show you is my cabinet. So let's turn around and look at that. Alright, so here is the inside of my cabinet. So over here you can see we have seed beads. This little tray is just like a bead soup basically. So we got wood beads, findings, we have seed beads in here. So when you have like just a little tiny amount of something, the Dollar Tree has these little vials. So I just put the little vials in this box, and I just got this box from Joann's. So you can see it has a whole bunch of little boxes, and I put them in upside down so you can see the color that you're looking for instead of just seeing a silver lid like if you would put it in this way. So just for when you have just that little bit left, but you don't want to make a bead soup out of them because you might, you know, be able to use them in, you know, a certain project when you only need a few of them. So then up here, these are just some random stuff. I can do a video on this random stuff if you want, but it's from a store called, what's it called? Ocean Job Lot, something like that. In the Northeast Pennsylvania, or not Northeast Pennsylvania, Northeast United States. They had a craft giveaway box. Basically, you spent $20. It was random pieces, but you didn't know what it was. It was just craft store type stuff. And then you got a $20 gift card back. So, yeah. So I basically got all that stuff for free once I go back there and spend my gift card. Anyway, so let's see. We got an old bargain bead box here. It looks like I never finished. Looks like we got some bead caps on the bottom. So 2 whole beads. This is buttons that you can use as closures on like bracelets. So leather punches. I have no idea what's inside this box. Let's explore. Oh, more seed beads. I think I got a lot of those from my brother Mike, who went to some bead shops in Florida. Alright, so then we go down to the next shelf. We got blues and purples. You can see I try to label all my boxes with the basic color that's in that box. Got some seed beads in the back here. Let's see. Turquoise, teal, blue, medium blue, dark blue. So you can see I tried to separate it down. We got some, these look like they're probably all drilled. Yeah, I think these are all drilled pendant type rocks, stones, rocks. That's some names. These are seed beads that we used for projects. We were doing some looming, and I took them out of the little boxes in the back and then put back one in there. These are all bugle beads in these cases here. So a couple of those. Alright, so then down the next shelf, so we have white, green, black, gray, silver. So you can see it's kind of grouped together. So this box here, so I was getting the Potomac bead box for a while, and then I wasn't doing a whole lot with it. So for what I did for now was I just went through and put each of them in a bag with their paper that it came with. So some of them, like you can tell, this one I made the pattern that came with it, but not all of them. So yeah, so they're just all kind of in here, and when I have time I'll go over, you know, through these and do some stuff with them. But this is why I stopped getting the subscriptions, because I was just getting so much stuff I just couldn't even keep up with it all. So it's like stuff from Curated Bead Box. So yeah, as you can tell, I was getting entirely too much stuff because I was focusing on Bargain Bead Box mostly, and I didn't have time to deal with everything. So some things just had to go by the wayside, and so yeah. So as of right now, I don't get any bead subscriptions, and I haven't even gone bead shopping in a long time. So this is just stuff that I've had for a long time. So I got some pieces here that have been wire wrapping. I've really been enjoying wire wrapping. I'll show you some of the pieces that I made. Let's see, we got in here. This is just a bunch of randomness, it looks like. Stones, I know these are not drilled. Yeah, so this is all just randomness, some seashells, huge bugle beads. Yeah, so it's all just a bunch of random stuff here that doesn't really have any other place to go, any other kind of category. A lot of this stuff came from when AC Moore was going out of business and we were getting things for like 10 cents or a penny or free. So it's kind of hard to pass it up. And, you know, one of these days I'll get to use it. Alright, so we got green gemstones, clear, more green, brown. There's a random painted rock that somebody did. One of these days I'll post it. So there you go. Posting it on YouTube, does that count? Alright, so we have 3 looms. I think there's some partially loomed work in there. Not totally sure about that. We got some metal spacer beads here. This is just an empty box that needs to be filled. Let's see. More random stuff here. And then down here on the bottom, we have acrylic stuff. So this is stuff that I use with the kids. We have letters, and then we have yellow and tan down here. More acrylic stuff. This is a box that hit the floor and has never ever been put back to normal. And it's probably been like 2 years like that. And then this is what I used to keep up on my workstation to have all my tools and everything out of, which I did not realize until just this moment that my kids have stickered everywhere. But then I just stopped using so much of the stuff that I was like, you know, I'm just not going to keep, you know, all of this stuff up there. And so then I eventually just went to just the one box out of this. So as you can see, there's a couple that are missing, and they are up on that shelf. And then actually there's one more case in here that has more just random findings. So, alright, so that was everything in here. So next I'm going to show you that board that I made up. Alright, so these are the boards I was talking about. So basically this is just a foam board. I got it for $1 at the Dollar Tree. And what I did was I just used little bits of thin wire. I couldn't even tell you what gauge wire this is, like 26 maybe, I don't even know. It's thin wire. And so what I did was I just hooked the pieces, like I poked holes. I used an awl and just poked holes through the board, and I just used the wire to go around from the front to the back, and I just twisted the wire along in the back. Now this is the only white board that I have, and you can tell, you can see that it shows the damage more from just being in use. And so what I did was I just put these boards in a trash bag. I left them all standing up like this, and I just put them in a trash bag, and I just transferred them around that way. So as you can tell from, being moved around and, you know, just laying against each other. And in the last vendor event I did, it was windy outside, so these hit the ground a few times. Because what I would do is I would leave them leaning against the table like this. So around the outside of my table. Now that's what I did at the indoor event. I just had them all lined up all around the outside of the table. But at the outdoor event, so at the indoor event I had them all lined up. At the outdoor event I left them in a pile, and people kind of flipped through them, kind of like albums, which people seem to enjoy. So I feel like it was kind of a fun experience for people to look through the different boards. So I wasn't sure how it was going to go over, but I think it went over pretty well. So you'll recognize these if you ever did the Bargain Bead Box. Those are the collection names, and then I just hung the collections together of how I made them. So you can see some pieces are missing, and that's because they either sold already or they sold at the vendor events. Pretty much I put full collections on here though. So some of these, like this one, I have the earring cards, and then some of them, I ran out of earring cards, so some of them don't have them, and obviously the earrings present much better when they're hung on cards. And I think this was the last finished jewelry video I did, was the Burgundy Boho collection. That was when I went to Florida. So then, this was the very first one I did, the Flight of Fancy collection. This is the collection I saw. I saw somebody's video with this set, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm signing up for that because of this. And this was the reason that I signed up for the Bargain Bead Box in the first place, was because of this set. I thought they were just so pretty. And this was my vision. I wanted to make that when I very first saw those wings. I just wanted to make that. Alright, and then this was this one. This was my crazy necklace. It was I was trying to think of the most elaborate thing I could come up with. Oh, so now one of the problems with this is, one, it's very noisy. So in some of these, I taped the wires on the back, and then like the earrings, because I was going to go back and do earring cards, I didn't tape those. So that was actually what just got stuck there. It got stuck to the board behind it. So this one you can see has the earring cards, and it definitely looks much better. So one of these is the very first one I did. Was it this one? Yeah, I think it was this board was the first board that I did, where I was trying to figure out the spacing. And so then that's when so you can see like these are all like all different heights. But I also, this set was very weird. But then that's when I figured out how to evenly space them across to make it look better and make it look more uniform. So the black boards, even though they do still take damage, when you look at them, when you stand back and look at them, they don't look as bad as the white boards do. So going forward, I will definitely not use the white ones anymore. And I'll just keep going with this. And then this is the last board I have. Yep. So this is the Cherry Blossom collection, and then the Roses Are Pink collection. So you can see I kind of tried to put like items together on the board. So I do have my mermaid collection that I made out of, you know, stuff that I curated myself, not like Bargain Bead Box. So I'm going to go ahead and make that board. Sorry guys, put my hair up, it's hot in here. And I had to turn the air conditioner off because it's too noisy to record with the air conditioner. So anyway, so yeah, so I'm gonna put that board together, the mermaid board. So if you guys want me to do a video with that collection as I put that on a board, I can go ahead and do that. So just let me know. And then if you have any other questions about anything you saw in this video that you want more clarification, I gotta remember to stop looking at myself in the video. I haven't recorded videos in a while. So yeah, if there's anything that you want me to go over, anything further, if there's anything I mentioned that I skimmed over that you want me to go more in depth on, anything at all. So I'm looking for ideas for videos. I'm going to be working on putting some ideas together of things that I can do. Since I'm not doing Bargain Bead Box anymore, that was a lot of what my content was geared towards. So instead of doing that, now I'm going to be doing my own things. So yeah, if you have any ideas or suggestions or anything, I do still have some friend mail that I never did. Showed unboxings of or anything like that. I still have some requests from back in the day of videos to do using some of those items. So I have a lot of things I can do. I just need to actually work through them. And now I think I'm ready to do more videos and really get into those things. So I should be back now. So stay tuned for the next video. All right, see ya.